Hello guys, welcome to yet another wonderful session of learning with Prepclass. My name is Tutor Olalekon Israel, your Prepclass English tutor, and I am super excited to have you join me in today's session of learning. Now in today's session, we will be answering questions from the Jamb English 2012 past question. Remember, the purpose of this session is to help you prepare for your forthcoming Jamb examination. So, without wasting much time, take a moment to subscribe to this channel, turn on the post notification so you can be notified whenever we upload any new content. Alright, so let's begin. Now, for this session, there is an instruction on the screen. The instruction reads, in each of the following questions 68 to 85. Now, in the previous videos, we have answered questions 66 to 75. So, in this video, we will be answering questions 76 to 80. Right, let's begin. Question 76. The woman would not part with her dash pot. The woman would not part with her dash pot. A. The woman would not part with her discarded earthen black pot. B. The woman would not part with her discarded black earthen pot. C. The woman would not part with her earthen discarded black pot. D. The woman would not part with her black earthen discarded pot. So which of these options is the best to complete this sentence? Now, when we use more than one adjective to describe a noun, looking at the options we have different adjectives trying to describe the noun pot. So when we use more than one adjective to describe a noun, the adjectives are either cumulative or coordinative. Now, cumulative adjectives are adjectives that must appear in a special order. Cumulative adjectives must appear in a special order to express the meaning that we want to express. The order of cumulative adjectives is as follows. We have what? Adjectives of quantity coming first, followed by adjectives of opinion, followed by adjective of size, followed by adjective of age, followed by adjective of color, followed by adjective of shape, followed by adjective of origin, followed by adjective of material, and followed by adjective of purpose. Now, not all of these adjectives will be used, but whenever we have different adjectives, we have to select them and arrange them orderly. So the answer to this question is option B, discarded. The woman will not part with her discarded. This is an opinion adjective. It is an opinion adjective. It tells us about your opinion. What's your opinion about the pot? It was discarded. It is discarded. The answer is option B. The woman will not part with her discarded black. So after opinion adjective, looking at the order there, we have what? Black. Black is the next. After opinion, we have size. There's no size adjective in the options. We have age. There's no age adjective in the option. The next is color, which is black. Then afterwards, black, which is the color adjective, we have earthen, which is the material adjective. Because after color, we have shape adjective, we have origin adjective, and none of them are in the options. The next adjective in the option is the material adjective. Because what? The pot is made from earth, from the clay. The material used in making the pot is the clay. It's an earthen pot. So the woman will not part with her pot. Which pot? The woman will not part with her earthen pot. Which earthen pot? The woman will not part with her black earthen pot. Which black earthen pot? The woman will not part with her discarded black earthen pot. So we have the adjective of opinion coming first, followed by the adjective of color, followed by the adjective of material. So when you look at the screen and you look at the order of cumulative adjectives, we have quantity, opinion, size, age, color, shape, origin, material, and purpose. So we picked opinion coming first, discarded, followed by black, which is color, followed by earthen, material. So the answer to this question is option B. The woman would not part with her discarded black earthen pot. Alright, moving on, question 77. We stood up when the principal came in, dash. A. Isn't it? B. Didn't we? C. Not so. D. Did us? Now, for tag questions, we need to follow some rules. Rule number 1. A positive statement must have a negative response, and a negative statement must have a positive response. Rule number 2. The auxiliary in the sentence must be repeated in the opposite form of how it appeared in the statement. So if we have the auxiliary in the positive form, it must appear in negative in the response. If it is in the negative in the statement, it must appear in the positive in the response. The auxiliary in the sentence must be repeated in the opposite form of how it appeared in the statement. Rule number 3. Any statement without any auxiliary verb in it will make use of the appropriate form of the verb do. So rule number 1. A positive statement must have a negative response and vice versa. Note, a positive statement is a statement without not or nt in its construction, while a negative statement is a statement with not or nt in its construction. So looking at this sentence is a positive statement. We do not have not or nt in it. So it must have what? A negative response. And a negative response is a response without not. A negative response is a response with not or nt in its construction, while a positive response is a response without not or nt. So since we have a positive statement, it must have a negative response. Rule number 2. The auxiliary in the sentence must be repeated in the opposite form of how it appeared in the statement. Now looking at this statement, there is no auxiliary verb. So what do we do? Rule number 3 states that any statement without any auxiliary verb in it, we make use of the appropriate form of the verb do. We stood up when the principal came in. We can't say do we. We can't say does we. What we would say is didn't we, because what? The action of the principal is in the past, came. When the principal came in, we stood up when the principal came in. The action of the sentence is in the past. So the response has to be in the past as well. So the appropriate form of the verb do is didn't. We stood up when the principal came in. Didn't we? Alright, moving on, question 78. This professor of dash medicine has dashed the mystery of bird flu. This professor of dash medicine has dashed the mystery of bird flu. Now, looking at the options, we have different spellings for veterinary and unraveled. So which of these options is the correct spelling for veterinary and unraveled? The answer to this question is option C. This professor of veterinary medicine has unraveled the mystery of bird flu. So the correct spelling is option C, veterinary, unraveled. Veterinary means what's relating to the diseases, injuries and treatment of farm and domestic animals. So a professor of veterinary medicine is what? Somebody that deals with the diseases, injuries and treatment of farm and domestic animals. Unraveled. Unraveled means to explain, to resolve. So veterinary is spelled as veterinary. Unraveled is spelled as unravelled. Now, on the screen we have another spelling for unraveled. Unravelled. This is the American spelling, and in Nigeria we use British spellings, which is unravelled. So the answer to this question is option C. This professor of veterinary medicine has unraveled the mystery of bird flu. Right. Moving on, question 79. A mother bought her some dash. A. A mother bought her some clothes. B. A mother bought her some yards. C. A mother bought her some clothes. D. A mother bought her some clothing. So which of these options is the best to complete this sentence? The answer to this question is option A, clothes. A mother bought her some clothes. Now, clothes represents a piece of material. A piece of material made from wool, cotton, etc. used to make curtains, carpets, blankets, clothing articles, etc. So, clothes, C-L-O-T-H, represents a piece of material. Clothes, C-L-O-T-H, C-L-O-T-H-E-S, clothes, is a noun without a singular form. The word defines items worn on the body, like I am wearing a piece of clothing. I have some clothes in my wardrobe. The word clothes defines items worn on the body, such as dresses, trousers, shirts, skirts, etc. So our mother bought us some clothes. This could include dresses, skirts, and shirts, and so on. Again, if you want to refer to clothes in singular, you have to use the expression a piece of clothing. So our mother bought us some clothes, not clothes. Clothes is a piece of material. I need more pieces of clothes to sew my blanket. Our mother bought us some clothes. Dresses, skirts, gowns, trousers, and so on. Those are clothes. Items worn on the body. Clothes is a noun that means a piece of fabric, C-L-O-T-H. But clothes, C-L-O-T-H-E-S, is a noun that always keeps its plural form. It refers to things people wear, including shirts, pants, and other garments. So our mother bought us some clothes. Alright, moving on, question 80. Many workers were dashed as a result of the textile closure. A. Many workers were laid down as a result of the textile closure. B. Many workers were laid off as a result of the textile closure. C. Many workers were laid out as a result of the textile closure. D. Many workers were laid off as a result of the textile closure. The answer to this question is option B, laid off. Many workers were laid off as a result of the textile closure. When you lay people off, it is a temporary suspension or permanent termination of employment of an employee. Lay off is the temporary suspension or permanent termination of employment of an employee, or more commonly, a group of employees for business reasons, such as personnel management or downsizing an organization. When you suspend or you terminate the employment of people, you've laid them off. Many workers were laid off as a result of the textile closure. So the answer to this question is option B, laid off. Many workers were laid off. Their contracts were terminated as a result of the textile closure. Alright, and with that, we've come to the end of this wonderful session. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. If you enjoyed this video, click on the like button. Do not forget to drop your questions in the comment section. Also, share this content with your friends and loved ones. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.